What's good, everyone? Today is Monday, October 20th. As you can see here, I am up $1,916 on the day. Now let's go into our charts. I'll tell you what I saw. So it came on around 8. At that time, we had these highs, this low, this low. Actually, I think we already took that low. Okay. So these are the highs and lows. Overall on the day, from the 4-hour and the daily chart, my bias was bullish because of this inversion from Friday. Although we're still in this bearish gap from the tariff news, my bias is overall bullish because we're disrespecting these bearish PDRAs and respecting bullish, right? So bullish on the day, came on around 8, had London highs here, London lows here, which we had taken. So so it came on around here, and I was looking for move higher, right? Looking for entry to catch the move higher. Okay, so this is what okay, so going into market open, I saw that we had created this 15-minute gap, 15-minute fair value gap here. And what I wanted to see was after 9:30, we respect this 15-minute gap and show signs that we wanted to continue higher to take out this London low and the next 4-hour low, which at open we got to move down, tapped into this CE of this 15-minute gap, and then just got to move right away. Wasn't enough time for me to enter because it was right at 9:30. I like to give the market 5 minutes to show its direction, So missed this trade here, and let's actually get into the first trade I took. Okay. So as I was saying, now I was overall bullish, but let's just mark out this 4-hourly gap here. Okay, as I was saying, I was overall bullish, but I wasn't against taking shorts, right? My bias was bullish. The bullish setups, long setups were higher probability, but I wasn't against taking shorts. So the first trade I took was a short here. At the time, we had been pushing up, right? This time is at 11, right? So we had been pushing up since 9:30. We're at these highs with no like proper pullback except for this area right here. It's decent pullback. So what I wanted to see here was I wanted to see a pullback before going higher, right? So at that time we had an hourly gap down here. We also had a 5-minute gap here, right? So go down to the 1 minute. I can show you my entry. So in 1 minute, took this high, had this push down here, right? But can't just enter off a bearish candle. Had to wait for some sort of change in the state of delivery, right? Either a inverse fair value gap or CISD, which got a CISD here, where this candle closed below the wick. So this candle, right, showing that we're probably gonna change the direction and move lower to tap into these gaps before going higher. So that was the idea behind the trade. Saw this close, waited for a pullback into the 50% of this candle. As you can see here, entered there. Now my stops, I didn't want to leave my stops here because it was really tight, right? 11, 12 points. And we could have easily, as you can see, we did here. We could have easily came, swept the highs and then pushed back down, right? So super tight stops. So I made them 20 points. I was sized for, like my size was 5 micros. So 20 points, I was risking like $200 and I was okay with that. And my take profit was entry of this 5-minute gap, which if we go back here, we can see, right, this was my exit. So yeah, this was the trade I took. As you can see, it did come up. If I had my stops here, would have got stopped out, but I wanted to give it a little room. We might have waked, and we did. but eventually came back down, hit this 5 minute gap, and I exited, and yeah, that was the first trade. Now let's go back here. Second trade was a break-even trade. Time was it says 2, so 2:20. Okay, so this was also a short. Okay, so this was the same idea as the first trade. We had pushed high as 220. We've been pushing up. To get, we were kind of chopping, showing signs that we wanted to come back down. We had this 15-minute gap down here, along with this 30-minute gap here and here, and a pullback would have been appropriate to continue higher. So again, waited for confirmation that we want to come down, retrace, which was a CISD, closed below this wick with this candle, and I took short on the next following candle at the pullback. Stops right at this high, or at this high actually, and TP initially was supposed to be in the CE of this 5-minute gap here. TP should have been here, which I was looking for, was what I was looking for, but we started chopping. Told myself I would have went break even once we took out this low. Came pretty close to it, so I moved myself to break even. As you can see, the trade did work out, but got to stop break even before we got that push down, right? It's kind of a pretty choppy price movement. You know, I was okay with this break even. Now the next trade was another break even. Okay, so all right, so now this was finally a long trade. This was a long trade. Okay, so looking at the 15-minute, I saw that we had this gap here, which we came down. To me, this was respecting. Like, although we did technically inverse this gap with this candle close here, I could say inverse. It kind of closed right on the gap, or I guess we did inverse. If we move it here, but because of how this candle closed, as you can see, came down with this wick here, and then still came all the way back up and closed bullish, right? So that's showing me signs that we probably want to go higher, and my overall bias is bullish. So here I was looking for longs. We got this 5-minute inversion here. But we were still in. There's another gap, 5-minute gap right above us, right? So I noticed that and still took the trade, right? Saw this inversion here in 1 minute. Nice. Wait for a pullback into this bullish gap here. Got that entry here. I saw that we respected this gap. My stops were down here for 20 points. And told myself if we fill this 5-minute gap, right? This one that was above. If we wick into the gap, and we still didn't we didn't inverse it and we came back down to my entry, I'll get out for break even, right? So got the fill here, move my stops to break even. As you can see, came right back down, stopped to break even. This trade ended up, my TP, first TP should have been up here at this equal highs up here. Yeah, it ended up working out. But again, price is kind of slow, it's choppy, and it's best to be out of a trade wishing you're in than be in a trade wishing you're out. So just exited here, got break even here, and yeah, trade ended up playing out. Now for the third trade, let me see. Now for the third trade, it was the same idea as the other trade actually. Yeah, I did. Okay, so this ride got taken out break even on the last trade, right? Um, and overall bias was bullish, and I was like, okay, we still might, like, it's chopping, but we still might get take out those highs, equal highs up there, right? So I waited for this, got the 1 minute inversion, saw that we were getting strong momentum to the upside, so I entered there on that candle. Stops were tight at this low right here, and my take profit were the 5 minute highs, equal highs up here, or see on the 1 minute. Yes, my take profit were these highs up here, right? So enter here, as you can see, pushed up a bit. I think at this point I moved my stops to break even. When we this candle here, moved my stops to break even, and came close to my TP first TP, but price started to act weak, kind of just chopping here. So I exited on this candle. As you can see, came back down. Would have got stopped out break even, or even taken a loss. So this is a good exit here. Secured some profit, and yeah, that was it for the Monday. Trade like this, it just takes time on the charts where you notice that, okay, you're seeing price slow down. It's also what, 350. So I mean, if we're not gonna get a push here, then if we're not gonna get a push to the upside here, probably gonna get a push to the downside. So secure some profits and call it a day, which is what I did. And yeah, so that was it for today. Across the 5 accounts, up $1,900. Overall on the 5 accounts, I'm on 26,400. I have a higher win rate, but those break-even trades, they count as losses, so that's why my win rate is 69. Really, it should be around like maybe 85, 86, right? As you can see, only have one or two, I have 2 red days. I don't know, it's not showing, but yeah, solid. It's going pretty good so far for this month of October. And yeah, on to the next day.